I'm in Yosemite. I ended up in a Yosemite Lodge hiking around. From 2012. Okay, so what is this? Like, so I went to Yosemite to hike around and get a forward observer recon of maybe camping there in the winter with like tents and sleeping bags. So I got there and I started hiking around, and it was raining. So I did all the touristy things, and I ended up in a hotel, Yosemite Lodge, and I was gonna do my gear review and everything, and just camp in the snow like Boy Scouts, hiking or badge stuff like that, right? So the rain started, and so I was, made my freeze dried food with the coffee pot in the hotel room, which I think is cool. Um, and permitted, as far as I know. You just use your coffee pot from the hotel and pour in the hot water into your freeze dried meal. But so the rain was on the roof, and I'm like, well, let me just take a nap. And then it started getting cold, and the rain stopped. And I'm like, well, let me just cover up for a little bit, and then I'll do my gear review and I'll go out hiking. So I get up in the morning, and it is blanketed in snow. And I'm like, what? And the staff members were like, oh, it's the world of Narnia out there, which I have to use that in a video. You have to use that in a video. Um, if a so then there was talk of crampons, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to get out of here. Right. So there's like the trail. There's a waterfall. It turns to like a fire trail, like the side of one of the Mayan pyramids. It turns to a snake at a certain time. I guess the winter solstice at Yosemite, the fire waterfall turns to like a glittery firefall from the sun, which gets into some ideas that I had that possibly some of the things in Yosemite are intelligently made megaliths. And this came to my mind There was a video online very recently of some ice uh, bergs like breaking off and falling in the ocean. And I didn't see that ice breaking off and carving a half dome. So, how, okay, so the geology of the place is that the granites come from deep within the earth, and weathering has taken off the top of it and exposed the granite. And then the ice age freeze and thaw, or at least thaw, carved Yosemite Valley into like these half domes. So on one of my videos, I took a line of sight from Half Dome and see where it pointed to, and it actually points to another megalithic-looking structure in California, San Joaquin Valley. But that's another video. And if you look at Google Maps, it looks like a Half Dome was used as a dam, either naturally or artificially. You just look at Half Dome on Google Maps and look down on it. It looks like a structure, man-made structure, anyway, or at least they took advantage of it. Like Sigiriya in Ceylon was some kind of rock outcropping, and they built a castle on top of it. But there's more evidence that Yosemite is a certain sort of intelligent structure, because there were mummies found behind some of the falls in a vault, and those mummies are now in Ripley's Believe It or Not, and they're 9-foot tall mummies, and I believe, if I'm looking at it correctly, they're the elongated skull type. So if you see the elongated skull type of mummies, you're always going to find like these solstice, winter or summer solstice megaliths that light up and dance around and stuff. So the like there's a pyramid in South America, Mexico, more than one, right? But one of them turns to like shadows of a snake during one of the solstices, and who's buried there is a elongated skull type of ancient ancestors. So they did find mummy ancient ancestors in Yosemite. So I'm always on the lookout, and no one else has gone out on a limb and claimed Yosemite is a megalithic structure, but they probably should, because mummies were found there. And if this thing on exactly the winter solstice turns into a firefall, come on, that's designed by an intelligent being. Anyway. Yeah, what was so outrageous to say that Yosemite was used as a playground of the rich and famous of the ancient ancestors? Come on.